Oh my God, your poor dad.
Welcome back to Your Poor Dad. You can't choose your sisters, but you can choose your podcasts, and you can kind of choose your presidents. So thank you for joining us and being the fourth Brant sister.
Welcome. Da, 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 da.
And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone. If you are not watching on video, then you don't know.
You're missing out, honey.
Honey, you're missing out, and you don't know what the magic you're missing out on is.
Jade, do you want to tell them what we are?
Let's go through and introduce ourselves. I am Teddy Hoe-sevelt.
I am Baberaham Lincoln. I am William Howard Shaft. And we are the slutty presidents.
You know what? Every year we're like, we're going to be hot for Halloween this year. And then every year we just find a way to like not be hot.
Every year we have to buy a new mustache. Okay, seriously though, when I was looking for those mustaches today, I was like, we just had mustaches last year. We've got to have them around, and I couldn't find any. Last year we were the Bears super fans, obviously.
Then the year before that,
we were Forrest Gump.
In which I was
Leg braces.
I was leg brace Forrest.
I was running Forrest. I was dirty fisherman Forrest.
Right. And then the year before that,
that was Xtina.
Was that Xtina?
Mm-hmm.
2019, yeah.
And I got rid of my top hat, and then we had to buy all new top hats for Abraham Lincoln. We should never get rid of costumes. Speaking of Abraham Lincoln, the reason I am Baberaham Lincoln is because a little known fact is me and Honest Abe actually share the same birthday. Obviously different years, but February 12th is the year. So
in case you guys were confused, they were born on different years.
Different years.
I have a question for you.
What?
When was the Emancipation Proclamation?
Bailey? Paige? I have no idea.
I don't know
I'd say
either.
1865. All I know is that 7 years ago.
And do you know what a score is?
Yes, it is 14 years? No, what?
Yes. I think the score is
14 years?
Yeah.
I thought it was 20.
Oh, maybe you're right. 14
Four
just
score.
is jumping out to me.
I'm pretty sure it's 20.
Wait, did I just say 7 years?
So
why wouldn't you say 4 and a half
scores
ago?
Yeah.
And why can't you just say like 20 years ago if it was 20 years?
I don't know how much.
I did paint in a picture with his words.
I did look up what a score is before, because was it this past year or last year?
For your birthday?
Yeah.
Last year.
So last year for my birthday, we had an Abraham Lincoln themed party, and it was really cool. Everyone came dressed either as Abe or something to do with Abe. Some of my friends came as pennies.
It's a good one.
That was really cool.
The most useless form of currency we have.
True. But it was a really fun birthday party.
Yeah.
It was really good. I learned a lot of facts about Abe to help plan that party.
See, we are presidential girlies, and I don't know if this is, this is a Halloween episode. This isn't really like, what other day would we do this for? President's Day?
Yeah, like voting.
Vote. We also are going to advise you to vote. But
so did Teddy Roosevelt have an accent there?
you
kind of look like Ditka.
Teddy's from New York, so I don't really know. He probably had like one of those like Kennedy
New York.
I feel like he was probably like really like exuberant.
Like probably like a transatlantic accent.
Okay.
Where it's like not quite British, but not quite American,
Show us.
I don't, what? Not in the mood.
Let's look into it later.
But yeah, let's just go around and say one of our fun facts or what we like about our presidents. Because we didn't just choose these presidents like because they sound slutty, like Teddy's Roosevelt. We chose them because we actually care about the presidents.
Right. Okay, why
Even
did
though
you
they're probably all like bad. Now
they're all
back.
problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure Teddy has a problematic past, but he just seems like he was one of like the cool presidents. Like he was kind of a badass. Like he liked to he was a sportsman. And Paige just told me he won a Nobel Peace Prize, which is like pretty dope. And he also like overcame childhood asthma.
And as a child, he witnessed the Abraham Lincoln funeral procession.
Which brings us to Paige.
Well, Yes. For me, honestly, the reason I am Baberaham is because of my birthday. The other thing that I really liked is Abe had a reputation for ending slavery. However, that's what we were taught in school.
Yeah.
The story's a little different. But
he was there.
He was there.
I mean,
he was doing something.
He was there.
He was also like deeply depressed.
We have that in common.
Like he like really was open about his depression, and I think his wife was really depressed. What's her name? Lydia?
Mary Todd.
Mary Todd.
It's close.
Mary
Lydia.
Tyler Moore Todd.
My favorite thing about Abraham Lincoln is...
Wait,
Oh,
is it
I'm
the
sorry.
same thing as that?
What are you going to say? What?
Yeah. Okay, you can say it.
He had the first... you should say it. You're
Just
him.
say it.
He's credited...
Jesus.
Bailey knows it better, but he is credited with being the first... Having the first, like, naval...
Air Force.
Like, Air Force... Sorry, not naval. Air Force around because he used hot air balloons to spy on the Confederates.
Nice.
Which is crazy because they had to have like... They had to do telegraph. Dee, dee, dee. So it was an actual wire that went up into the hot air balloon. And they were like...
But they couldn't see
2 dash.
the hot air balloon.
They could see it, but the cannons couldn't reach it. So they were like, ... dash. There's 27 of them.
Yeah,
Hide.
like, there's this many. They're in this location.
And they'd be like, oh no, a hot air balloon. Shoot them. But they couldn't because it was like 1860.
So Air Force Abe,
Interesting.
pretty much.
Pretty.
All right, Bailey,
good
what's your favorite?
My favorite thing about Taft is how large he was. He was quite rotund, 350 pounds. Apparently, he didn't get stuck in a bathtub because it hasn't been like corroborated. There's no like evidence to back up that he got stuck in the bathtub. And it's like, yeah, because he was the president. He's not going to be like, write this down. This is the most humiliating moment of my life.
It's probably like how everyone has that rumor about Richard Gere, how he had the hamster stuck up his ass.
Oh, yeah.
No one's going to corroborate that story.
Yeah, especially back then. It's like he just said, shut up. And then everyone did, you know?
Nice.
Something that I just found out about Teddy which is interesting because Abe, kind of started the Air Force. Teddy apparently is the father of the modern U.S. Navy.
Wow, look at that.
Ooh.
Wow, I love the military. So, anyways, welcome to the presidential show in your Halloween episode. And in honor, wait, should we go around and I haven't actually talked to you guys.
Okay. Well, what's been going on? What's been going on with you this week?
Most of what's going on this week.
That's my Taft accent coming out.
Well, do you guys want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. Dix's birthday just happened. He's 30. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
He doesn't listen to this. He doesn't listen to this trash about farting and boys we can't keep.
Dirty
that
30.
I can't keep.
That Paige
That
can't
Paige can't keep.
We went to a nice little winery. We went to dinner last night. It was very beautiful.
Where'd you go to dinner?
Dean's Italian Steakhouse.
Nice.
The winery was a lot of fun. It was in Dripping Springs, and it was a place I hadn't been before. And the views were lovely. It was so peaceful. And I swear to goodness, we didn't even plan it. There was a magician there, and he said, "Can I show you a magic trick?" And it was mind-blowing. So that really just made the birthday a little extra special.
Well, and I did Paige FaceTime me, and I was at Mr. Roberts' house, and we were just dying because Paige was a little toasted. And she was
I forgot that I even called them.
Yeah, so you were telling us the story, and we were just giggling. And I was like, this is the longest magician story. Most people be like, I found a magician, and Paige told us all about the magician.
Paige said, then he walked out and he said, "Excuse me, my boss says if I have time, I could show you a trick." Then he walked away and cleared more plates.
what?
And then he came back.
And his mother name was Lydia Mary Todd.
Okay, well, the thing is, you weren't there, and I really wanted to give you
painted
the
the picture.
experience
Yeah.
as if you were.
We felt like we were there.
It was a lot of fun.
That was a fun surprise.
And then since he is an official Austin resident, the gift that I gave him was all Austin themed, like an Austin shot glass, an Austin magnet, Austin socks, just kind of like a whole little Austin basket.
Welcome to Austin Sticks.
Yeah.
Sticks came to our Taylor Swift viewing party, which you guys know. And so I think, okay, now that we've had some time to sit with the album, like, what are your standouts?
So glad you're asking. Because
Notes?
Wait, first of all, guess which my standouts are. Because you know how basic I am.
yours is Antihero and Karma.
Karma.
Great songs.
Same. Okay, so Lavender Haze, Maroon, Antihero, Karma, Vigilante Shit, Paris. Am I missing?
I did not like
standouts.
The 3 a.m.
Woulda,
version.
coulda, shoulda.
Oh, Sweet Nothing. I really
I
like that song.
Bejeweled too a lot.
Bejeweled music video comes out tonight. I know it.
Does that mean we're gonna like Bejeweled a lot? Because
She said keep an eye out for all of the cameos. So a lot of her,
Ooh.
I'm guessing a lot of her friends are going to be in there.
interest.
I know. I'm really excited. I really like, I don't know why you don't like the 3 a.m. edition. Because yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda. That one's really good too. I really, really like Paris. I just think
like
that
Paris.
you should give her another chance.
It's like I literally couldn't stop listening to Antihero and Karma. Like all I did every time, like I had a free moment to myself this weekend was just put on Antihero and Karma, like over and over and over and over and over.
It's really interesting how quickly I find my skip songs. And so I start the album and I listen to 1, 2, 3, which is Lavender Haze, Maroon, and Antihero, and then I skip because it's the Snow on the Beach and
Snow on the Beach is terrible.
and the kid one.
It's not terrible.
You're on your own, kid.
You're on your own, kid. I'll be honest, I haven't even given those two a chance because the first time I listened to both of them, I was like, meh.
I don't think there's any need.
Yeah.
Midnight Rain is growing on me by the day. So is Mastermind. Labyrinth also.
I don't like Labyrinth.
I
that
also
much.
can't stop watching the Antihero music video. It's like so good.
I love it. I love it.
I think it's really good. A plus, Taylor.
A plus plus.
But this weekend was Formula One in Austin, which like who really gives a shit unless you live in Austin? Because I never cared about it until I moved here. And there was just like parties all around town, and like there's a lot of people all over the world that come into town. And so on Friday night, we went all the way to this is my bad. We went all the way to Boulevard.
Boulevard.
I want to go there.
Okay. It
Not worth
is
it?
literally just like ATX Casino. I mean, it is the sister restaurant to ATX Casino. So I was like, ooh, it's going to be different. But it's like pretty much the same thing. But it's definitely worth it if you go during the day because they have like good views or maybe a sunset. But we got there at like 8:30. It was night.
It's up north though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the food was great. Then we went to Zed, which was like, oh, cool. Like,
Oh, baby.
and the thing about these Formula One parties, it's a bunch of really hot girls and then like really old rich guys.
Yep.
And then like me. And I was like in the middle.
Yeah, you're somewhere between a hot girl and an old rich guy.
Yeah. Well, we were just like, we weren't in like that scene, you know? But we were adjacent to it. And then Saturday night was Post Malone.
It's only funny that I keep laughing at that because like right now looking at you, you are somewhere in between.
Yeah,
Just
somewhere.
oh,
That is
Bailey.
funny. Post Malone, and like Post Malone probably played like 5 songs, which is cool, but like also not cool because I'm sure they gave him a shit ton of money to play there.
Wait, that's it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think a lot of people were pissed off, I heard. And also I saw literally every person who has somewhat of an online presence, including myself, at this party. Like name any like TikToker, like Instagram person, they were at this party. And I was like,
Jenna.
she was there.
Nice.
The Waterboy guys were there. Courtney Shields
Kenny,
was there.
Ken-
Eric was there.
Was he doing there?
Anyone on Austin. And so it was like, and it was funny because like everyone I was with like literally doesn't know who these people are, but I like live online. So I was just like, oh my God. And that's that person. They're like, oh, like that's cool.
Yeah.
But then I did get recognized. So it made me feel like I think we're all Austin influencers.
Right.
This girl was like, are you on TikTok? And I was like, yeah. And it's so funny. Like, I literally do not get recognized ever. Like, because, like, I don't have, like, that big of an online presence. But, like, nobody ever comes up to me ever. I shouldn't say recognized. Nobody ever comes up to me and, like, says anything unless I'm with Mr. Roberts. So it makes me look so cool because, like, literally every time we go out, people are like, oh my gosh, are you the Your Poor Dad girls?
That's great.
And
At
I'm
least
like,
that's happening when you're with him because, do you need this?
Yes. But it's funny because it's like, look,
nobody has ever, honestly, now you like look so silly and shocking without your mustache. No, I have no one's ever come up to me like, oh
my God, it's best one.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Paige, tell your best one story. So, but if anyone did, I would love if it was when I was with other people.
Yeah, because then it's like, oh my God, I don't just have this like silly little podcast with my sisters. Like, people actually listen to it. So like that felt nice. And it's kind of like just validating in that way. Like, I don't need to be like, well, which, by the way, tell all your friends about it. Like, I'd love to grow this podcast.
And then also, if you see us, please come say hi to us.
Please come say hi. And especially if I'm with a guy, like, definitely come say hi. And
if I'm by myself or with anyone, please.
Yeah. Like, anyways, yeah. So Post Malone was really, he's such a damn gentleman. Like, he gets up on there and he's so grateful. He says, you guys could be anywhere and you're here listening to me. And it's just like, God, why aren't more people like you?
The good ones are.
And he's from DFW, so.
Taylor Swift is like that too. And it's like, oh, Taylor, where else would we be? Like, come on, where else would. Also, speaking of the release of Midnights, I just have to give a couple of our listeners a shout out because some of them really did like slide into my DMs and we had some heart to hearts and we were able to connect and talk as if we've known each other forever. Them going through breakups or, you know, not having sisters. It was just I enjoyed having those conversations with you guys. So thank you.
How Taylor Swift connects the Your Poor Dad audience is how we want Your Poor Dad to connect. Wait, what am I trying to say?
How Taylor Swift connects people. We want Your Poor Dad to also connect people.
What she said.
Yeah.
And people were like DMing me like, oh, this is you guys like listening to Taylor. And I just love how we like have all these little inside jokes together.
Me too.
Also, I had something embarrassing to say that I did in front of. No, I can't say that one. I'll tell you guys later.
Okay.
I need what happened to me to kind of like.
Is it the thing that you told me this morning?
Yes. But actually something else I did that was embarrassing. I am bringing Mr. Roberts to a wedding.
Oh my God.
I know.
Whose wedding? Someone we know?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say her first and last name. But
okay, so just a friend.
Okay, one of my friend in Chicago's wedding. So we're going and like I had booked the hotel room and one of our bits that we do is like whenever we're doing like a dinner or whatever, we'll send each other a Google Calendar invite and like write a little description in there and it's like a funny, cute description. And so I did that today and I like updated the invite with like our hotel information that I'd booked and I hadn't even booked our plane tickets yet. And mommy was gonna take care of his plane ticket, but then he was like,
then Daddy said, Daddy's got it.
No. So Daddy responded and he said, oh, cool. Have you booked your plane ticket yet? And I said, no, but do you want to coordinate them together? But I don't think I said together. I said, but do you want to coordinate on them? Because I was just like in an email mode, like not thinking. And to me, it's like, oh, like let's coordinate the flight together. But I didn't realize like until way later that it looked like I was like, no, but I got the hotel. Do you want to get the plane tickets?
Ooh.
So then I was like, and then because he had sent me a confirmation of our plane tickets that he had bought. And I was like,
you said, honey,
but he's just kind of like that.
He's so damn polite.
He's really polite and he's very much on it. So then I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like whatever. And then hours later, I was like, oh, he probably thought I was like, can you just take care of that?
Yeah, like I took care of the hotel, you take care of the ticket.
And I just like, I do not want to be that type of girl. And I'm not that type of girl. And I'm just like, I was mortified. I was like, oh my God, I just realized how that came across and I am mortified. I feel like I sound like such a bratty little bitch. Like, I appreciate you picking up the tickets, but that was not expected.
Yeah, you're like, I only have time to focus on one thing at a time. So it was...
Yeah.
It was the hotel and then tickets, but he was one step ahead of you.
Yeah. And then,
when is the wedding?
It's in December.
When's your wedding?
When's my wedding, Mr.
Yeah.
Roberts? I don't know. But we did talk about another thing that I would like the listeners maybe advice on is that I have a dog, obviously Hank, and Hank.
Do you?
Yeah. Since when?
Hank has been at my parents' house for the last
Month.
Because I've had a bunch of traveling stuff and I don't want to keep boarding him and going back and forth and like putting him in a car. It's just like not fair to him, and it's better for him to just be at my parents' house and like have a yard and like have another dog during the day. So anyways, I don't need to justify myself to the sisters, but like, you know, just let you guys know. But like, it's been nice to be able to like be free kind of this last month, but we were talking about integrating Hank back into my life and then like how that's going to affect us and like how do we integrate Hank into Mr. Roberts' home? Mm-hmm. Because he's a very clean person and, you know, he's an adult. Like, I signed up for Hank, he didn't. Mm-hmm. And so if you guys have any suggestions on keeping dogs off couches or like maybe like integrating a dog into a relationship, I guess, which is we're not, you know, but yeah.
Yeah, that's tough because
Roman is your boyfriend?
Well, I got Tiger with my ex, and we had very strict rules at first that we really did follow. So he never slept on the bed. He rarely ever got on the couch. Like, it was this is a luxury. If you're on the couch, it's only at this time of day with this person, like whatever. It was very strict. But then whenever we broke up and I moved out, I was like, then I got Roman and I said, I want both of these dogs in my bed with me when I sleep, and I want them on every piece of furniture because they deserve it. And now I feel like if I have a boyfriend, like in the past when I dated Peter, I was basically like, they are my number ones, and you were integrating into our life. Yeah. So we did make some compromises with like sleeping arrangements. It was like, okay, both of the dogs sleep on my side of the bed, and I try to give you as much room as possible. But then eventually,
and a woman says, fine by me.
Eventually he would be like, oh, well, I'll take Roman because Roman's such a little cuddle bug. Yeah. And it all just like worked out. So again, I would like to get the listeners' take, because my thought on it is they need to integrate to our life.
Yeah.
But it probably is a little healthier to figure out like a compromise.
Well, it's like when we're at my house, it's easy because it's like Hank can sleep on my bed, or he usually sleeps on the floor because it's just like not enough room. But like Mr. Roberts has a leather couch, and if I were him, I wouldn't want a dog jumping on my leather couch. Like, that's not fair to like have like claw marks and stuff on the couch.
Yeah.
So it's like integrating in that way. Like, how do we, and like I'll just have to like vacuum and stuff.
And maybe get a really nice kind of like thick blanket or something for the couch. I think it's just like, in case he does, because the other thing about Hank, the other thing about Hank is that,
Bailey, can you turn off your phone?
I can't reach. I'm in the tub.
I know. So we're just, which we're like, it's a nice like conversation to have. So if you guys have any suggestions on integrating a dog into a life, or if you have stories about like maybe like integrating a dog that went bad, so I can learn from your mistakes.
I'll look up to see what some therapists say too.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's like he understands that the dog is the number one. And I literally started crying when we were talking about Hank. I was like, Hank is just like...
Hank told me he forgot about you.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He said, are you my mother?
Yeah, so that's just some updates about me. I'm like very talkative about...
Mr. Roberts?
Yeah. It makes me nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I don't even say that much about Stick still, because I'm just like protective of.
Yeah.
I'm protecting the relationship, not like I'm embarrassed to say anything about it, you know?
Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, it is hard. It's like not like people listen to this shit. So it's like I feel very protective of him and our situation. So I don't want to say anything that's like can be taken any other way.
Well, it's also just a little different because Bailey and Styx have been dating for a while now. So they're kind of just in their normal relationship because this podcast is about our lives, right? Yeah. It's about catching up with each other. What's new this week? Like if I was going on dates, I would be talking about that. And so this is why you have so much more to say in your relationship with Mr. Roberts as opposed to Bailey with Styx, because you're in a different place in your relationship right now. It's still in that, like, we're in a situationship, but we're not quite like dating like Bailey and Styx are, you know what I mean? So it's a little more like exciting and thrilling.
It's thrilling.
You know what I realized the other day, Paige?
What?
You've lived with as many of my boyfriends as I've lived with.
Facts.
That is strange.
Which is 2.
Facts. Oh, we got our Bears update. Who would have known that was going to happen? Okay, so guys, actually, we are recording this on the 24th, which is a Monday, and the Bears play tonight, Monday Night Football.
Oh,
wow. I know. So they play against the Patriots. Our current record is 2-4. Not great. Or 2-4. However, apparently the Patriots might not have their speedy wideout Kendrick Bourne for tonight's game. Okay. So that, I think,
is good news.
Is good news for us. So if they don't have their speedy wideout, we might have a chance.
Speedy wideout, what does that mean?
Wideout.
I think I'm guessing wide speedy receiver. Wide receiver out on the field.
Speedy wide out.
But it says wide out in one word.
Oh.
Wide out.
Or did you just write it in one?
That's what the internet said.
Okay.
I copied it. The other thing I wanted to say, real quick, a little more, bringing it a little closer to home. When this episode airs, it'll actually be Monday the 30th. Therefore, last night on
Monday the 31st.
Sorry, the 31st. But on the 30th, Sunday football, the Bears play the Cowboys at Cowboys.
Yeehaw.
They're so freaking close, we can taste it.
And I will be in DFW.
You can almost feel their sweat.
Right.
We're getting closer to your poor dad being near the Bears.
Right. And you know what? One thing I'd like to say is, like, Josh Richards was invited to the Bears game. And we love that for the Bears. Like, any sort of youthful attention they can get is great. But, like, what has Josh Richards done for the Bears? Like, we are literally bringing a generation of young women to the Bears. So why don't you bring us to the Bears to bring our friends to the Bears?
Yeah. Come on, Chicago Bears. Bring your poor dad to Soldier Field. You will not regret it.
And this may have to extend into 2023 because the time's a ticking.
Yeah.
But I still have faith.
Yeah. And that's okay.
We just need some viral clips to go viral on TikTok so we can grow our audience and blah, blah, blah. Anyways.
Twoo.
And we just need you guys to, like, tell people, you know?
And keep commenting on the Bears.
Yeah, I love when you guys tag us in that. But okay, so do you have any other updates you'd like to talk about?
No.
Okay, so I think, like, in the spirit of Halloween, we should tell one of our favorite Halloween stories that was from our family. Okay. And it wasn't technically a Halloween story, but it's Halloween adjacent because it's kind of like got a spooky element. And it has to do with your poor dad.
All of your poor dads.
Our poor dad. So let's paint the picture. It's my fifth grade birthday party, and my birthday's a month before Halloween. I'm getting in the spooky spirit early, and I come to dad and I say, you know, I'm having this sleepover for my birthday, and I think we should pull a prank. And our dad is, like, extremely in tune with, like, pranks, and, like, he loves, like, getting into the spirit of things, and, like, you give him an inch, he'll take a mile.
He's never crossed the line.
Right. And so I was like, what if we, like, say there's a serial killer on the loose, and then we ding dong ditch the house, and then that's it, and then we, like, you come from behind to scare us. And he's like, that's great, but like, what if we had a chainsaw?
Keep in mind, 5th grade means you're like 10.
Yeah, you're 10. I felt older. And
Okay.
and he's like, actually, if we add a chainsaw, why don't I cut the power to the house? Then all they hear is the chainsaw. Then we turn the power back on, and then we like do this elaborate scheme, which we'll get to. And I was like, oh, even better. And so me, a 10-year-old, and my dad, an adult who should know better, we are coming up with this thing together. And I think it's important also to note that I invited Paige's teacher's daughter, who was in my grade. And she was like a Brant family favorite teacher. Like, we loved her. We still do. I mean,
Still do.
no love lost. But like, it was like,
I mean, maybe love lost on their end for us. We still love them.
yeah, like she's like one of like the top teachers of your life. So the girls get there, and I'm setting the stage for the bit.
Before you say, also feel like it's very important to note that our poor mom had no idea. Our poor mom had no idea that this scheming was going on between Jade and our poor dad.
And then my dad also.
And then he brought the neighbor in. So not only does mom not know, but what starts as father-daughter shenanigans,
he is the neighborhood,
turns into dad getting another adult in on this prank. Like, how can we make this prank more believable to these 10-year-olds?
Yeah. So I'm like laying down the groundwork for the bit. I'm like, oh my God, you guys, did you hear on the news that there's a killer on the loose? And the girls are like, what? And also, like, when you're 10, you're just like not super comfortable with like being at somebody's house. So it's like, sleepovers are already like a thing where it's like somebody's gonna call their mom in the middle of the night to pick them up.
Or you might like cry a little bit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, cry yourself to sleep. You're like, fuck, I can't. How many more hours till my mom picks me up?
That was you as a child, I feel like.
No.
You
only
weren't?
there was like, I went through this weird phase where I used to go to sleepovers, and then all of a sudden I didn't like going to sleepovers anymore for probably, I don't even think it lasted a year. And then I was like, okay, I gotta get out of here. And then I was fine with it again.
I remember that stage of your life because mom would always have to come get you. And
I don't know where that came from.
you were a mom come get me girl for a little bit.
Yeah, it was such a weird, but it was weird that I wasn't, and then I was, and then I wasn't again.
Yeah.
You would think that you would either be one until you grew out of it. I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah.
I think it was because I had a friend who like
Was a mom
truly, so I was like, oh yeah, me too. I want to go home too.
She normalized it in a not good way.
Yeah. So we like lay the groundwork for the bit, and then all of a sudden the lights go out and go back on, and everyone's like, ah! Like does like a little scream, like, you know, in the movies. And then what? Wait. Okay, so the lights went off and came back on, and then dad comes in and he's like, hey, what happened? Like, so he's like running back and forth, like he is working for this bit. Then because the neighbor was doing it.
Yeah,
the neighbor was cutting the circuit, and then he did it again.
Well, but as this is happening, dad is like, oh, why did he's scaring the girls even more, because instead of it just
it's
like,
okay, girls, I don't think there's anything bad happening.
like he's like,
fine.
No, he's like,
it up. Why is this? Why are the lights out? You know, he's playing into this whole "there's a killer on the loose" thing. So the girls, now that an adult is also frightened, they're even more frightened.
So then we hear a little knock on the door, and dad's like, okay, hold on, let me get that. That's strange. The door opens, and then you just hear,
well, the other thing to explain is the way where Jade and her friends were in the living room, we had a low wall, a wing wall, so you couldn't see. There was a wall from like the middle to the bottom, but you could see from, you know, middle to top. So you could see dad going, but he had his supplies right on the other side of the wall that the girls couldn't see. He had ketchup, and like he was splattered on, like he was
wearing
prepared.
a white shirt. He was ready.
Yeah. So then he opens the door, and then you just hear ring, ring, ring. Then like you just see this like guy in a mask with a chainsaw coming in, and then dad's like, oh my god, and then like goes to the floor, does the ketchup bit, gets the ketchup on him, and then he gets up and he's pretending to fight our neighbor. And our neighbor had like taken the chain off the chainsaw, so it was like fine, but like everyone is just screaming bloody more.
Dad's like, run, girls.
Dad's like, girls. And then he's like, you know, going like down on the low wall and like pretending to like crawl. And then like the neighbor's like getting him,
pulling him back.
And then the girls are
not okay.
Terrified. They were like, one girl was literally like shaking in the corner. Like, think about the therapy that these girls this is trauma.
This was what they thought their last night. And they're like, and I'm spending it at Jade Brandt's house. I didn't even want to be here. I wanted my mom to pick me up an hour ago.
So basically every girl's mom they call their moms.
And then it's mom's problem to deal with. And that's the worst part of it. Because like what was supposed to be a small prank turned into this huge thing that mom had to talk to all of the moms about, had to apologize to my teacher.
Yeah.
Like it was a huge thing that like, and mom was very involved in our school. Everyone knew her. And so this thing that she had no idea about went on to like her reputation.
Yeah.
You know?
Like it was like Sandy Brandt, PTA girly, is like now known as like the one who had the sleepover where her husband like acted like he was getting murdered by a chainsaw.
Man.
And so, yeah, that was like, and I realized immediately right when that bit was going off, I was like, this is a failed bit. Like this
that's like truly, it was a true success.
It was a success, but not like, maybe we needed to be like in high school.
No shit. You were 10 years old.
Also, as a 10-year-old, it's like, oh yeah, that would be funny. That would be funny. Like, Dad, like you do that. This is a great idea. And then he's like, okay, I got it. And then he just like takes it way too far.
Yeah, it was like way too far. And it's funny that like two adults didn't pick up on that, because it was not only dad, but it was the neighbor,
but it was also two dads
who also has kids.
Yeah, like why did they both not like say, hold on, let me think about how this could traumatize a bunch of...
To be fair, and I don't know if this is even an argument,
you're a dad apologist.
Well, you are the first girl, okay? So you're the first one that's making dad a girl dad, right? So yeah, he's learning as he goes, right?
Yeah.
And then the neighbors, they had all boys.
Yeah.
So,
and dad is from a family.
And dad is a family of all boys. So they're probably like, oh yeah, like this is funny and like it's gonna be a joke. And maybe if you were a boy and everyone, maybe it would be like, oh, haha, like you got me, but that was good. I don't know how boys work. So like that might have been a funny thing for boys, but it was scary for girls.
Oh, and murder isn't terrifying. I'm a boy.
I don't know, but I feel like boys like, you know, all of the like killing video games and you know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, no, not to be sexist, but like this would probably be okay if it was at a boy sleepover and it was just like super traumatizing for girls. Because also like guys are just a little rougher with each other in general, if we're going to generalize that. But like girls are like, they probably came over expecting to like get their nails done and like normal sleepover shit.
We were probably doing each other's nails when the serial killer
we probably were
came into the house.
Yeah, and then we were like definitely trying to watch some TGIF, which was like, you know, Boy Meets World, which was a shit. But yeah, and then dad ruined it.
Because you asked him to.
Yeah, but like I'm 10.
Man, what a story though.
That's when you say your poor dad. Your poor mom.
Your poor
mom.
I don't think we feel bad for dad in this story.
Yeah, no, I feel bad for mom and like for her. Oh my gosh. And I can just imagine how mad I already know how mad she was, but just the unraveling as she's learning this, she's just getting angrier and angrier until she's getting the whole story. And I'd hate to be you guys. I'd hate to be dad, honestly.
I don't remember like where mom was during this whole thing.
Probably
probably
like
at a
getting
PTA
Chubby
meeting.
Bunny ready. She's pouring the marshmallows into the bucket.
Mom was
She's
probably
just-
going to get the dry ice to take you guys on like sliding down the hill.
Oh, the ice blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe not dry ice.
Yeah,
That would be
sound right.
awful.
And a dry ice would be spooky though.
That would be so spooky.
Mom would always put dry ice in a little cauldron and make it look spooky.
Mom was the best for Halloween. She used to make all of our costumes.
Yeah.
And our costumes were awesome.
They were so good.
There was, I was.
I'm sorry, but we were literally the winners of the costume contest in Glendora.
Because she was so freaking good at
Yeah.
it. I mean, anything that we did, if like Bailey wanted to be Cruella DeVille, she was the best Cruella DeVille that you've ever seen.
Very cute.
I wanted to be the like ugly or like the before Princess Diaries one year. So she made me the best. I wanted to be Tommy Pickles.
And you were the best damn Tommy Pickles there ever was.
I scare myself to this day. This woman said Tommy Pickles is bald and has a couple little hairs, so you're wearing a bald cap and we're putting pipe cleaners through that.
Yeah. One of our most iconic costumes that won us the award was Little Bo Peep, and I was Little Bo Peep and Paige was my sheep. And
And I was still dead.
And they were like, "Do you guys have anything to say?" And they handed the microphone to Paige, and she goes, "Bah." And then that's what won us the award. Then another one that was like super simple but still super iconic was I was Oscar the Grouch, and I had this little like tin garbage can that I wore, and like I had my hair done up like cute with like a little like unibrow, and Paige was Cookie Monster, and she looked really cute. And then Bailey came along, then we had to like. Mom had to like have 3 kids, and it was like harder to do on the costumes.
Well, Mom sewed me a whole ass cat costume when I wanted to be Melly from Aristocats.
Did she?
Mm-hmm.
I thought she bought that.
No, she probably made it.
Wow, what a superwoman!
I remember. Do you guys remember when I? This might not shock anybody, but I love In-N-Out, and when in California we used to actually take field trips to In-N-Out, and I just thought In-N-Out was the coolest thing ever. So I wanted to be an In-N-Out car hop, and Mom had. My outfit was perfect, and she had glued all these little like In-N-Out food items or whatever to my tray so they wouldn't fall whenever I was we would have like Halloween parades at our school. We would go all out.
You know what? One of the nerdiest things though is that this tradition kept going for me in middle school because I was like kind of a nerd, not like one of those girls that's like I'm a nerd. Like I was just like kind of a nerd, like. You know, not like smart nerd, but like loser nerd, you know?
You were in the in-between.
I do think that you have such a unique perspective of things because you were a nerd, and then I think you being a cheerleader kind of was like naturally pulling you into like the cool girls, like the cooler crowd, but like you were still kind of like nerdy,
yeah,
you know what I mean, until you found like common hobbies like with those girls.
Yeah,
so it was weird.
Like I was always like very social, but like I was just like I was a late bloomer, and
like
I was
you
kind
thought
of
you were
nerdy.
a dog.
Yeah, and I get like, you know, these like nerdy interests. Like we were really me and my best friend Amanda, who also has a podcast, we bit obsessed. We just like we were like obsessed with things, and I think that's like a nerdy quality.
Something, speaking of their podcast, which by the way, Amanda, I listen every single week.
Me too.
And I love it. But something that they had said in this past episode was that she always kind of talks about how she feels like she was a nerd, or the perspective she has of not being like the cool girls or like the popular girls. And I would love to do like a crossover episode, because if you guys knew how I saw you two, like I thought you guys were the coolest.
You did?
Oh my God. You guys were always like making these videos and like being like dancing around, like choreographing things, like doing just like so many very creative things. So I'm honestly not surprised that you both have podcasts now. But the fact that like I thought, and the other thing is, because I'm thinking about it through my little sister mind at that time, and I knew that you guys had different interests. Like when cheerleading happened, like she wasn't like that much into cheerleading or whatever. Like she did for a little bit, but anyways, that's not the point. But I was like, wow, they are the coolest girls, and they can do whatever they want and still be so cool.
Wow. And we like literally shit on ourselves all the time.
You guys felt so insecure.
We were so insecure. We were literally like, we're not popular. We called them literally the popular kids. Like we thought that, like that's what we called them, which is like so, I don't feel like people use those terms today.
Yeah.
As much like as we literally were like the popular crew. Like one day, like the popular guys will notice us. We were literally like a 90s teenage rom-com. And I don't know if that was
because what you were watching and going on.
Yeah, like we're literally like just pining over these guys, like obsessed with them. And they were like literally guys at our school in our grade.
And I think the biggest reason for that is we grew up as social media was also growing up, right?
Yeah.
So at the time, all you had to go off of was these rom-coms, right? These movies. Like now we can see real, relatable things from people's Instagrams or TikToks, whatever. Yeah. It wasn't like that. So it was only, oh, this is like never been kissed. Like this is, she's all that. Like these are the things that this is high school, you know? I don't know.
But all that to say, in 8th grade, which is like you're about to go into high school, like you're old enough to know better, Amanda and I were Lucy and Ethel for Halloween. And we weren't just like cute Lucy and Ethel. We were like down to like I had my hair in curlers and like it was like up in like the 50s do, and you know Amanda had like her hair, and you know Ethel kind of looks like a grandma-ish. So like she literally
had a fake nose.
Not for that one. That was another time I was Lucy. But we were like fully Lucy and Ethel, and then we got to school, and I realized like right when I got there, I was like, everyone here is dressed as the Limp Bizkit girls. Like wearing like little tiny like camis and like backwards red hats, and I was like, oh fuck. We look like losers.
We didn't understand the assignment.
Yeah, like we're like literally those nerds up all night, like with our moms working on our costumes.
Katie Haring coming in as an ex-wife.
Yeah. And then everyone else. It was literally like that scene from Mean Girls. And so that's just really funny.
Lucy and Ethel's a really good one though.
It was really good, especially because like Amanda and I were like besties. So it was like, I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, you know what's even scarier than Halloween?
What?
Liars.
Liars scare me. Honestly, liars scare the shit out of me because I cannot lie.
You cannot tell a lie.
I cannot. I am honest Baberaham Lincoln.
Wait, did you do that on purpose?
Honestly, I didn't. But it's just facts. Honest Paige and honest Abe, you know?
That's hilarious. Yeah, I'm not like a really good liar, but you guys...
You're not a good liar, but you lie. You just get caught.
You just keep practicing.
Yeah, you keep practicing and you just keep failing.
Like, what do I don't lie about like real shit though, do I?
Well,
I lie to like not hurt people's feelings, which is like I lie like saying that I'll be somewhere and then I know I already have other plans and I'm double booked myself.
Oh my God. I literally was telling Mom that the other day. I was like, oh yeah, you do know that your daughter, talking about you, is the type of person that makes multiple plans and then just like chooses the best one.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, well, that's rude. And I was like, yeah, she's been like that forever. And she was like, well, that's rude. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what, like that facts are facts.
It gives me anxiety though to like tell someone no. So then I just like, I make myself have to deal with it in the future. That is my toxic trait.
That is so interesting because like my anxiety comes from having to, I'd rather say, I'm so sorry, I can't, I have plans that day, I'm doing something that day, then yeah, no, that sounds good, I'll be there. And then that day have to come up with some kind of excuse like I can't do that.
I'm working on it though. Like today, I was supposed to go somewhere tonight and I told them I would do it this morning. And then I was like, how do I make both of them work? And I just knew I wasn't going to be able to make both of them work. So I had to be honest.
Whoa.
Good. I know. I was channeling Honest Abe.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but so we asked you guys to write in to tell us about a time that you either got caught in a lie or that you caught someone in a lie, and like how you did it. So maybe we could all learn something from this. And I personally don't have many stories of myself.
I've told you guys my stories of catching people in a lie. You know, the iPad story. And when my college boyfriend, can't remember his name at the moment.
He said he was sleeping.
He said he was sleeping, and then I was like, I'm in your room. And he was at the girl's house.
What did we call him?
Frank.
Yeah.
Frank.
I caught Frank. Yeah, and I caught them and confronted them that day, so that's me. No
See,
chill.
and like if I caught somebody, I would like wait.
Ooh, my other favorite thing, whenever, I don't remember if I told this about Tyson or not, and if not, I will definitely keep this story for another day. But did I tell when he came home drunk and I used his face to open his phone? Because that was a good one. He was really drunk and I was helping him vomit, and then he gets this DM from this girl, and I said, what is this? And he said, I don't know.
He said, hold still.
Hold still. And then I ran away because I knew he couldn't catch me because he was so drunk. So I went into the other bathroom and locked the door.
That's hilarious.
And then I said, this is Paige. Leave him alone. And she said,
whose Paige?
He said, no, she said, he can do what he wants. And I said, no, he can't. Not if you're involved.
She said he could do what he wants?
Yeah, she's like, well, he can basically, like, because she was inviting him. Listen, I'll tell the story another episode, but she was inviting him out. She was like, paddleboarding. I hope to see you there. And I said, no, he's busy. And I was like, this is Paige, and you need to stop texting my boyfriend. And she said, he can make his own decisions. And I said, no, not when it comes to you.
Oh.
Ugh. Anyways, he made his own decisions. Joke's on me.
Interesting. Yeah. Bailey, have you ever caught somebody in a lie?
Yes.
And it's very apt because it was during Halloween.
Oh.
And also, you guys gave me very different advice, and it really stressed me out.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to tell a story?
Yes. So it was 2 years ago. We were Forrest Gumps.
Yeah.
So I'm Dirty Fisherman, Forrest Gump. This is like very like the first time like after COVID that like, you know, you're not really supposed to still be having like a party, but we were. So the person I was seeing at the time was like, hey, is it okay if I bring 2 friends to mine and Paige's house?
Which was only making the party maybe like 12 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I said, yes, that's fine. Thanks for asking. Come on over. And he said, great, I'm going to shower and I'll be right over. And I said, okay, cool. See you soon. And then he didn't come, and it was like an hour. And I was like, hey, are you going to come? Like how was your shower? Like, what's going on? Are your 2 friends coming? Like, what? And then he didn't text back. So I called him, and I was like, because we'd been seeing each other for a year.
Yeah. He was your boyfriend.
It wasn't exactly a year.
It wasn't a new fling.
No. And then he didn't write back.
Yeah, so you guys had been
seeing
dating
each
a
other
year.
for
He was your boyfriend.
I mean,
Well, that was a big convert because they were never
and not
officially
so many
boyfriend
words.
girlfriend.
For a year?
Yeah,
this
he kept her in
red flag.
Is this me?
Well, I was gonna
But
say
he would
keep
say
this in mind.
Weird, whatever. We could go on.
Yeah.
Anyway, he like didn't say anything, didn't answer my phone call, didn't call back, didn't text or anything, and I was like, what is going on? The next day, I was like, what the fuck was that? This makes no sense. So I had made his dog an Instagram account because it was a very good dog, and so I went onto the dog's Instagram because I was like, what is? Just starting to snoop. My mind is like just going nuts. And I was reading these DMs that he has with like these other girls from like 2 weeks. Well, they weren't even DMs. He was DMing another girl as the dog saying.
Which is the weirdest thing.
It's
like,
so
No,
gross.
but tell him what he was saying.
Loser behavior.
This was 2 weeks before when we were supposed to be hanging out. He DM'd saying, hey, hopeful future stepmommy, you should message my dad at his Instagram handle. You have the weekend, hope to hear from you soon, because I was at mom and dad's house, and so I was gone for the weekend. So he's like sliding into this girl's DMs. I was like, what? So then I start going through all of them, and he's like sending like pictures like to his like bros of like these like
Hot
Instagram
girls.
models, you know, like mostly their butts and stuff. And it's like, why are you so overtly like pervy? Like,
but the other thing that's so weird is he was so outwardly pervy, and the guys that the friends' responses weren't. They were like, cool. Like they weren't even like, oh hell yeah, look at that. You know, it was just like nice. Like,
yeah.
Cool, bro.
like I'm gonna respond just so you don't feel like an idiot, but like I have an Instagram too. Like I can see what I want to see too.
Yeah. Or maybe they were smart enough to know that I made the Instagram. I feel like guys don't make their dogs Instagrams. But he was running it like his
So then what advice did I give versus Paige?
So
healthy advice first.
it was Paige. I was
obviously
steaming. I was mad. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do about this? And I was like, Paige, you're crazy as of last year. This is going from ex-Tina, when was Paige like at her craziest, to Forrest Gump, Paige at her sanest, Paige at her most therapized. So I was like, this is the person that's going to give me the response that I want. I'm going to have my Christina moment. And I was like, what should I do? Should I message this girl back? Should I like call him? Like, what should I do? And she was like, I think you should just like wait and talk to him. And I was like, okay, now I'm going to call Jade. So then I called Jade.
Yeah, I told you to make sure you have the
screenshots.
Take screenshots. You need to have receipts for your conversation in case he goes and deletes things and tries to gaslight you. That never happened, like whatever.
Yeah.
But I said you need to get your receipts, and then you need to have a conversation with him and actually like
You're like, oh,
talk about it.
I think you guys should probably break up. I was like, okay, duh, but like I need something better. So then I asked Jade what I should do.
And I was in my most like sad stage, because this is like with Colorado, one of the times that Colorado had just told me he loved me. And
then got another girlfriend.
And then he literally was like, I'm going to this like thing for work. He's in the military, so whatever.
He was in the army.
He was in the military, so we think. And he was like, so I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, but like I will text you. And so like after the 2 weeks, I was like, hey, like what's going on? Ghosted. Then I'm like, look, what the fuck is going on with you? A couple days later, he messages me and he's like, look, I'm so victimizing himself. He's like, I hate doing this. This is so hard on me, but I got a girlfriend. And I was like,
I hate when that happens.
are you
honestly,
fucking kidding me?
Come on, have a soul. Like that sucks when that happens.
Like you just got a whole ass girlfriend in 2 weeks after telling me you loved me. Like you're insane. But what's even more insane is that I dated him less than 6 weeks later after that. So anyways, I was in full on crazy mode.
So what Jade told me to do was she's like, well, the first thing you need to do is change that password. So
ASAP.
You have like the full control of the account. And I was like, you're right. I should do that.
And I said,
right
don't
now.
do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And then I did it.
Too late.
And then I did it.
And I
Which
said,
was
I've heard that one before.
It was fine.
That's like the most
wrong
harmless thing you could have done in that situation.
Yeah, but then you literally lose your entire hand. Because
Why?
now he can't log in, and now like if you still want to see movement, you lost all of that.
Well, that was me being like, I think Bailey could have started talking to those girls.
Well, and that's what you were encouraging me to do.
Yeah.
But I think I
And to
also
embarrass him.
knew that I was at the end of my rope there and that there was really nothing to be gained either way. And I was like, you know what? You can hopefully get that next Instagram model using your dog.
And he did get an Instagram model.
And he did.
Oh yeah, he did.
She was a very talented Instagram model.
Multi-talented,
Well, let's
she would
hear
probably say.
a story from some of you.
From the sisters.
Cause we are sisters.
We stand together.
We make up one big family, though we don't look the same.
Oh my God. Can I just tell you? Wait, also, side note, this has nothing to do with liars, but we saw these two DJs. One was an Instagram model. One was like Kardashian adjacent, like in that whole crew. I don't know if I want to like, but like we should be DJs. All he was doing was just skipping. I was like, you could have just pulled up your like Spotify, like top hits of the last 10 years and like DJ'd that set.
I thought you were going to be a drummer.
Now I think I should be a DJ.
DJ'd?
Wow. DJ'd. I'm already a DJ. But also he played I'm in the room. It's a typical... I have the video. I'm going to... I don't know if Mr. Robert sent it to you, but like...
He did.
He did. And
he did.
I literally was like... You know how we were playing that game last episode of like... Drink every time you like...
Say the wrong word?
Within the first like sentence. Well, I got the words wrong.
You usually get the first word wrong.
I know. And Mr. Roberts knew every single word. He's like, how do I know this and you don't?
I was like, I don't know anything.
Honey, my brain don't work like that.
Do you want to rest it here?
Yes.
It's hurt the shirt out of me. Your bubbles your bubble bath is a...
It's always dangerous to bring your laptop into the tub. That's what William Howard Taft always said. All right. Okay, here I go. Hello, fellow Brant sisters.
Hello.
First, I want to start by saying I love all three of you and have made listening each week... Yep. I have made listening to each week's podcast my... Each week's podcast. This goddamn mustache.
Come here, Roman.
First, I want to start by saying I love all three of you and have made listening to each week's podcast my nightly routine by propping my phone on the kitchen counter while I make and eat dinner. Clearly, severely single.
Same.
Anyway, here's how I caught someone in a lie story.
Hell yeah.
I had just made the long-awaited move to Montana from Ohio with my then-boyfriend of almost 4 years, and we were looking for jobs, exploring, etc. Maybe like 2 weeks in, he says he has a job interview. How exciting, I thought. So, long story short, he leaves me in our long-stay hotel room in the only car we had brought with us to go to his interview. As I'm waiting back in our room, I decided to hop on his laptop and go through yesterday's GoPro footage from our snowboarding day.
Oh, fun.
And honestly, this may have been before you needed passwords to get into laptops, but I honestly don't know how I got into his. This was honestly, which was very honest, almost like 8 years ago too, so who knows? Anyway, I opened the laptop, legit not snooping, I swear on my life. We had just moved across the country together.
All I have to say is you don't need to keep I do the same thing when I'm talking about the iPad story because it was such a genuine accident, but when you describe stories like this, you have to... No, I swear, I honestly was not doing this. I wasn't snooping.
Seriously?
Because...
Like, one time of that is fine.
Yeah, but also, it's just other people give it a bad rap, and we believe you.
And also, like, if you're snooping, that's fine.
Yeah, one of my friends, she is my favorite human ever, and she's like... Oh yeah, I was going through my husband's phone yesterday. Like, well, I have to keep him on his toes. Like, she's like, I mean, I hope he goes through mine too because we're married, but we're not dead. Like, she.
Actually, I would fucking murder someone if they went through my phone. Like, that is an extreme.
I just think they're funny. Honestly, you guys can look through my phone all you want. It's just a mess. It's just so many screenshots. I'm constantly screenshotting and talking shit. No, but the best thing about my screenshots, I'll be honest, all of the Instagram and TikTok ads, they get me, but I don't want them to know that they get me, so I take a screenshot of it for me to look it up later.
You're a boomer.
Because I don't want the algorithm, I don't want them to know that I clicked on it.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, screenshot. Now let me research this. Anyways,
okay.
Continue.
Sorry.
Anyway, she swears on her life. We had just moved across the country together, and the thought of me needing to snoop or that I would find anything on his laptop was the furthest thing from my mind. And start closing out of stuff that he had opened so I could just get to the GoPro stuff. As I'm closing out of pages, I noticed a girl's name on his email right as I'm clicking out of it. Okay, so here's where the snooping starts.
Hell yeah. See, she can admit when she starts snooping, but it wasn't intentional at first.
Yeah. I immediately open his email back up, and lo and behold, it's a girl's name from the one and only Backpage.
Backpage?
What does that mean? What is that? That's a escort.
Oh, okay.
What?
Like, website? Yeah.
Bailey, thank you for being so knowledgeable.
You're
do
welcome.
you
You guys can
know?
find me on
Like,
Backpage.
the backdoor page?
William Howard Shaft. It's my Backpage account.
And I'm at Teddy Hoe-sevelt.
And I'm Baberaham Lincoln.
I truly don't remember the conversations that they had the previous night. We were both in the small long stay hotel room together all day and night. So God only knows what time this took place.
Oh my God.
All I remember seeing is them making plans to meet up that next day. And what do you know? It's to meet up in the same town his interview is in.
Oh no.
My stomach dropped.
What?
So again, long story short, I was shattered, of course, and just like any other caught cheating story, he swears up and down they never met up and he loves me and he was about to propose.
Bullshit.
I said, well, thank God you didn't. But my mom and sister rented a minivan and drove across the country from Ohio to Montana to come get me and my dog.
Aww.
Thank God for family. Love you guys and thanks for being you and true.
Okay. Love you so much. I love your mom and your sister. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. I have a story.
Okay.
And this is from like an acquaintance.
Okay.
And I've had like a couple glasses of wine, so I'm gonna tell it.
Oh, tell us, girl.
And I once heard this story from the horse's mouth. That
7 years ago.
7 years ago, one of my friends caught her then boyfriend going on to Craigslist and propositioning men. Craigslist.
What about Grindr?
And
Was this pre-Grinder?
I think if we're being honest, I think Grindr would have been too outwardly gay for him.
Oh,
and
he's
I
not
think
gay.
he's not gay.
He's
Quote
not
unquote not gay. So I think like Craigslist was like him dipping his little toe in.
Craigslist is scary.
I know, and Craigslist is scary. And like, so she confronted him. I think they're like kind of conservative. So he was like, no. Like, I just was curious. Like, I'd always heard about this stuff and I just like had to.
Wanted to see how easy it would be to.
I really just wanted a massage.
Literally, I never met up with these people. And I was like, and this is around the time when Mark was going through his shit. And I was like, I'm going to say that where there's smoke, there's fire. All this to say is like where there's smoke, there's fire. So like you made the best decision for yourself. And I feel like it's so hard when you're in that position where you're like, okay, we just moved across the country. Like we're about to take the next step. And you're probably like so on that high of like, we're doing this together. Aren't we?
And so you're ready to justify everything. Well, no, he's right. So they probably haven't met up yet. You know, which honestly they probably had, but like you're wanting to believe whatever he's saying because you just made this big move.
Right. So like you actually having the balls to say this is a boundary for me and I'm ready to leave is
brava.
Oh, I don't even know. Honestly, there was probably a point in the last like couple years where like Army could have literally been, I could have seen like him with a girl and I would be like, but he likes me more than her.
Yeah, no,
I literally did.
You did that. You thought
Which
that.
time are you talking about?
Should I call him Army?
Yeah.
I meant to call him Colorado. Fuck.
I think that
yeah,
we're
Colorado,
just
whatever.
dropping more Easter eggs.
No one can find him anyways.
Yeah,
because
well, let's not. Yeah,
let's not like,
yeah. let's not provoke them. But like, but yeah, we already said he's a military guy, so that's fine. But Colorado, literally had a girlfriend, and you would call me and be like, yeah, well, she's living with him, but I know that he still likes me more. And I was like, well,
sure.
He likes her more because they're living together for longer than a week.
And I was like,
but I also lived with
I was
him.
like, well, I think it's only because she lives there.
And I was like, but you lived there too for a minute.
You moved there.
Can you hand me more tape? I've sweated off. I am a sweaty beast right now.
I think Teddy was pretty sweaty.
Oh, I
Sweaty
bet he was
Teddy.
the sweatiest man.
Oh yeah.
He was probably sweatier than Taft.
Anyways,
I bet
next.
Taft was just winded. Okay.
I'm proud of her.
I am very
Oh,
proud
yeah.
of her. We have some smart listeners. Huh, Roman? He's you good boy.
Okay. I think I made a note about... Okay.
Give some to him.
Okay. Oh my goodness. He's so handsome.
Show them listeners.
You're so handsome, little mustache boy.
Okay. Hi, YPD. You guys are actually the only podcast I look forward to every week.
Really?
I have a story
mean
about
that?
my first toxic relationship and
Thank
catching
you.
him in the biggest lie and what I did to handle it. I like that it's your
Nice.
first, but it's not your last.
Love that.
When I was a senior in high school, I was dating a very angry little man who obviously had little man syndrome. Her words, not mine. I don't know why I dated him for as long as I did, but I got many stories out of it. We had been off and on for 3 years, but finally began to be more serious at the beginning of my senior year. We had a great time up until November of this year. Keep in mind, I had taken this boy to Country Thunder with me only 3 weeks before this.
Oh, I feel like I've heard of
What
that
is
before.
Country Thunder?
I think it's a country concert somewhere that
Sounds like the thunder from down under.
Ooh, country road.
His birthday was coming up soon, and I decided to go all out on a gift for him since I finally had a little bit of my own money. He had told me we couldn't see each other on his actual birthday, so we met up after work the night before his birthday. I gave him his cute little gift, and he told me how amazing it was and how thankful for me he is. His birthday comes around, and I do not hear from him or even get a response to the birthday text I sent. This wasn't super weird for him to do, so I just brushed it off and planned to see him the following weekend. He called me out of nowhere the following day and proceeded as if nothing had even happened. During the call, he asked me if I knew this girl named Desiree. I said yes, we used to be best friends, but we fell out of touch. I found this very suspicious and wanted to find out more. I decided to reach out to Desiree and say, "Hey, how have you been? I haven't talked to you in forever." Just to see what was going on. She responded immediately and said, "Hey, yes, I'm good. Do you mind if I call you real quick?" She called me and told me like, "Hey, are you dating this guy? I saw that you posted for his birthday yesterday." So I was like, "Yeah, I am. We should all hang out together since you guys know each other." She didn't even hesitate and said, "Girl, we hooked up last night." Before I could even think to be upset or cause a scene, I decided to see what he has to say. I gave him a quick little call and say, "Hey, babe, so what'd you do for your birthday last night?" He avoided the question and just said, "We went to dinner."
I'm sorry, where was she again for the birthday? Like, where was she the night before?
He said that he wasn't going to be able to be with her on the night of his actual birthday, so he did
Okay,
something. So she was at home.
Okay, I didn't know if he... Okay.
I knew this was bullshit, but I wanted to make it known that I knew. I asked this girl to come with me to hang out with him and his friends the next weekend, and when I walked in the door, all of them were fucking terrified.
Whoa. With the friends there too.
They better be scared.
and
That's a power
all
move.
obviously knew. I continued to act like I knew nothing, and we were all just hanging out until it was time to go to sleep. I made myself a cute little bed on the couch, and he asked, "Why are you sleeping out here?" I was like, "Oh, you can go sleep with Desiree." His face was actually the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, and this man deadass just started begging and begging for a second chance before I even ended anything. I put my happy ass to sleep, and when I woke up in the morning, that bitch really decided she was actually going to sleep in his bed, and
Wait.
and right where my bag of clothes and all the shit I had left at his house was a used condom and a wrapper.
I'm sorry. Go on.
I threw the used condom on his face
I would've
before
shoved it down his
leaving the
throat.
house and refused to hear a word the man had to say. Ooh, she signs it. "Love you guys. I hope you liked my story because it is very much my villain origin story."
Okay, love that villain origin
And
story
this
for
is high
you.
school?
This is high school.
Senior year. Okay, I almost made a comment earlier about I really loved that you girls were like coming together. When I thought there was going to be like a friendship out of this, like with you guys. And then the fact that plot twist, the bitch was just a bitch. And then she was like, "Oh, wait, you're actually going to stay on the couch. I got the bed."
That literally blows my mind. I think it like, here's where I think you guys like maybe could have done things differently is like you come in and then you drink all their alcohol and you high five and leave together. But the fact that you like stayed there, but I guess if you're in high school, like you're like, my parents don't know where I am.
Yeah.
Or my parents think I'm at Cindy's house.
I think that the thing they could have been different was like not be 17. You know, like that's
well,
they can only go so far in their planning.
Yeah, your frontal lobe is not formed.
And I think what could have been different is really having a thought out game plan with this girl and making her follow it. If you're building a bed for you on the couch, you're building a bed for you and her on the couch.
And she started drinking,
and then you're handcuffing yourself to her. So you guys, you're in this together,
like she
united as one.
And also, I want to know, when in the night, from her perspective, did she decide to be on your team and she switched back onto his team?
Wow,
because she was kind
drunk
of
and like.
Well, she kind of was like being a cool girl, being
At
like,
first.
"Hey, just to let you know, I saw you posting about this guy. I hooked up with him. I didn't know if you guys were still together or not.
yeah,
whatever."
hooked up with him last night. Sure, I'll go to this party with you so you can like flex
Confront him.
and confront him.
And then you just ruined the whole plan, Tracy, by fucking him.
Tracy.
That was like, she really screwed you over while screwing him.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
at least they were wearing a condom in high school. That's like very, people don't do that in my school, I don't think. I wasn't having sex at that time, so.
Okay.
Me neither.
Me either, but also I'm taking that used condom and I'm down his throat. Because she said it was like right by her bag and like
why
her
would
things.
you do that?
Like, yeah. You dropped something and just down his throat.
Also, our like Texas sex ed, I didn't know what condoms were, and I remember
What?
I didn't have
know how to use a tampon, so shut up.
And I remember there was someone opened a condom and just like it was on the cafeteria floor.
And Bailey goes, "Ooh, balloons."
Who's throwing a party?
I think that I caught on like before I picked it up, but someone was like, "Hey Bailey." Hey Bailey, what's that?
Bailey was like,
a
I'm gonna
drop.
be William Howard Shaft and I want to blow up balloons for my little...
If I were in on the joke, it would be hilarious, but it was like, "Oh Bailey, I wonder what that is." And it was like, I don't think that person would be talking to me if this weren't a trap. And guess who it was? Paige. You'll know who it is from context because it was the person that was in your theater class that smacked the fucking, opened up the, it wasn't like a Nutter Butter, but it was like a chocolate covered thing. And he came around and he smacked my little cheeks with the fucking peanut butter on either side because he was a bully. And I thought he was so hot.
Okay, well, when I was a senior and he was a freshman, I really thought he was going to be a cute little boy that you could date.
He was a sophomore when I was a freshman.
When I was a senior. Yeah, you were a sophomore. And you were a freshman, he was a sophomore. And I was like, oh, they should date. He's so cute. And he's so
the
tall.
power dynamic. You were he
wanted to date me. I wonder if he still does. Just kidding.
I don't think he's cute anymore.
I haven't seen him. Never mind.
I don't have Facebook anymore. Anyway, should we just like round this out with the poop, or do you think that we're
Poop. Yeah, I think we could do one more.
All right. This person writes about a first story, but pretty much the first story is just that she couldn't poop until like second grade.
Hold on. I think you need to start from the beginning. Come on.
She couldn't poop.
You know I'm interested because
Okay, whatever. All right.
as the book states, everybody poops.
My first one was when I was in second grade, but first you need some background. One of the stories my family loves to make fun of me about was for some reason when I was little, I didn't like to go poop. My parents would joke that if they couldn't find me to look behind some furniture because I would hide and cross my legs so I wouldn't poop.
Oh, I thought it was like me and I would like hide and like poop on your jacket or something.
Yeah, you like to poop anywhere
And
but the toilet.
she was just
I was,
holding
like,
it
afraid of the
in.
toilet.
It got so bad that when I was 4 years old, I had to go to the hospital because I was constipated.
Oh.
So anyways, when we got dropped off from the bus, my second oldest brother tells me that he told his entire grade that I had to go to the hospital because I was constipated when I was 4. He was in 5th grade at the time, and for me as a second grader, I was completely mortified and embarrassed. It ended up being okay because shortly after, I got him back by telling this girl who was in his grade and on our bus that my brother had a crush on her. He actually didn't, but for some reason that was a joke in my family.
And also, that's like the worst thing you could do to somebody in elementary school, in 5th grade. Yeah, like she knew. That was a really good payback.
That was a good one. I also like that this brother just like shared her constipation story because he's like, oh, I know this is embarrassing. This is a family secret.
Well, especially because she was 4 when she couldn't poop, and when you're in 2nd grade, how old are you?
It's like 7.
7. So it's like she's been able to poop for a few years now, but he's like, haha, remember that one time? Let me tell my friends. And then she's like, fuck you, Jared. Let me tell you about this crush that you have on that girl.
That's so funny.
But he doesn't. She just like chose a better one. My second story was when I was a junior in college and was dating my boyfriend of 2 years. I was supposed to meet up with a group for a semester project after lunch. My stomach wasn't feeling well, and for some reason I was just drinking Gatorade and sitting in my car until it was time to meet my group. I suddenly had this bad urge to poop and decided that I should go before the meeting, but right as I got out of my car, instantly my undies felt wet, and I looked down and saw the poop literally dripping down my leg.
Ew.
I go right back.
She's sitting in her car at this time?
We're still talking about poop? I thought we were talking about liars.
No, this was, I'm wrapping it up with the poop,
Okay.
But she had 2 stories.
2 stories about poop.
Oh, I thought the last story was a lying story.
No, this is all poop.
Got it.
That doesn't match the theme, but okay.
That's why I said, should I round this out with a poop story?
I thought that the first story was a poop story, and then the second story was a lying story.
It's just poop.
Oh,
okay.
Well, now that we're here, I mean, honestly, truly, what's scarier than a surprise poop?
That's the scariest thing of them all.
Wait, but she was sitting in her car?
She was in her car. She was waiting to meet up with her group, and she was like, uh-oh, I have a tummy ache. I should take care of this before I meet up with them. And she stands up to get out of her car.
Okay, that's when she feels it drip. Okay.
And she didn't know?
No, she just says her undies felt wet, and she looks down, and there's poop dripping down her leg. I go right back in my car and grab this bed sheet I had in the back of my car for some odd reason for me to sit on.
That's why our poor dad says you should keep toilet paper and paper towels.
True. I call my boyfriend, and right when he answers, I start bawling my eyes out and try to calmly explain what happened. Right after I told him, he instantly laughed his ass off, which made me cry even more. Luckily, he ended up coming to me and took me back to his dorm room. To sum it up, I missed my meeting, had to go the rest of the day wearing my boyfriend's saggy sweatpants, and had to throw away my favorite running shorts, all because I pooped my pants. My boyfriend, now my husband, is surprisingly still with me even after cleaning up my poopy pants and the sheet. So I guess if that didn't scare him off, I don't know what will.
I was gonna say, you got it all out there all at once.
I mean, apparently, if it's just dripping down her leg.
Honestly, it's like, those are the scary times. If you're either when you're like really sick and you're like, I just need to live by a toilet, or if something unexpected happens, it's like, uh-oh, have I lost all control, and have I lost control forever? That's
When your
terrifying.
body betrays you.
Yeah.
That one time my body betrayed me
That one time.
when I was driving home from, I've never had an experience like that before. When I like actually could not control, I was like, I'm scared, because when obviously I told everybody that story because I was shocked and appalled at myself. And one of my friends said, oh, that sucks, because once that happens once, your body's going to not be able to control yourself in the future. And I was terrified. Not true.
Yeah.
I've fully been able to control myself ever since. So
It's
What
like,
did
they think was going to happen to your bowels? Your sphincter was not going to tighten back up?
I don't know the rules. I'm not a doctor.
I mean, my friend told me that butt plugs were actually for people who had anal because their sphincter couldn't tighten back up, and they had to literally plug the fecal matter from coming out of their anal canal.
Why did you do this?
Sphincter.
Said sphincter tighten back up.
Yeah, because
And also, I just want to
Sphincter
say,
says what?
Here at YPD, we do not yuck your yums. If you want to use butt plugs, like, go for it.
Yeah.
We're only laughing because butt plugs are not for...
It's not like literally a plug to plug up the poop. It's for sexual
it's for pleasure. But that's why it's funny, because
it's ribbed for her pleasure. Wow, what a great episode. What should we talk about next week?
What should we talk about next week?
What should we talk about next week?
Bailey?
Next week we should talk about I'm only thinking about Halloween stuff.
Okay, well let me think about this real quick. So this comes out.
You
on
can
the
say
31st.
other ways your body has betrayed you.
1, 2.
I don't know if I want to
That
do
sounds
like
a little serious.
Well, whenever we'll talk about that later. We're getting into November. So one of the weeks of November, either the week before or the week after, probably the week before, we'll do like a Thanksgiving type episode.
like
Or
advice from Dad.
we'll do, or the Monday after Thanksgiving, we'll have that episode because we'll be home and we can actually have him on the pod.
Yeah.
So that would be fun.
Yeah.
So how about this? What I want everyone to start doing, because the episode that we have our poor dad on, I really, really want
Dad advice?
you guys to send in a lot of questions for Dad. Whether it's what's the easiest way to hang my curtain rod, to my boyfriend broke up with me, how should I get over it, to whatever whatever you think our poor dad can help you out with. Like I want to start getting those in, so I want those to start trickling in now. But then maybe for next week we could talk about, I'll be honest, I really liked the lying thing that we were on. I don't know if we keep it going. Relax. What is he going to do to you?
I don't want him to lick me anymore.
He loves you.
Stop licking me. Maybe it's a 2-part episode. Can you get down?
Okay, first of all, Jade's being rude to the best dog ever. Okay, so next week we want you guys to write in with your biggest secrets that you've ever kept. And if it's been revealed, I assume if it was a really big secret, it was also a really big reveal. So explain all of that. Like the biggest secret you've ever kept from somebody or a lot of people. And then if that secret was revealed, like how did that all go down?
Yeah.
How do we think? What do we think? That's good? Great. So I hope you guys all have a happy Halloween.
I hope you're safe. And I hope you got slutty this weekend, because this is coming out on Monday, so I'm assuming you're partying during the weekend.
Yeah, slutty or funny.
Yeah. If you're like us, you're probably not going to be slutty, but...
Or, just having some candy. Getting some trick-or-treaters. I'm excited for some candy.
What are you guys anticipating you're going to be doing?
On
Passing out
Monday?
candy? Yeah.
Monday, we'll have...
Trick-or-treaters?
We'll have some for sure.
I hope so.
We need to get some candy. It's always kind of freaky because I'm used to not getting trick-or-treaters because at mom and dad's house, they live on like a hill, so no one ever the kids don't want to go up and down that hill. But here we're in a cute little neighborhood, so we get these people ringing the doorbell. I'm like, who is it? Are they coming to get us? It's just some little kids. I'm like, oh, Spider-Man. Cute.
Interesting.
Spider Boy. Did you hear that reference in the Taylor Swift song? It's a Jake Gyllenhaal reference, I think. Fuck Jake Gyllenhaal.
All right.
Fuck you,
well,
Jake Gyllenhaal.
thanks, guys. Make sure to write in your stories about your biggest secret, and
we'll see you next week.
see you next week.
Keep listening to Midnights. And listen to our real good episode.